Recording.
We're recording now? Okay, so I decided to use my family members as the people in my group because I was not able to make it to class on Thursday because of the rain delay. And so I'm going to ask them 2 or 3 questions and, to my understanding, just restate what they have said. So, Mom, what do you think that video games turn children into murderers?
No. You need to elaborate.
Yes. Yeah, just a little bit.
I think that's a pretty loose statement. I think that video games can have an impact on children. When are you looking?
No.
Um, and I think some children are probably more susceptible to violence in video games than other children. So I think there's a lot of factors that play a role in video games, and maybe violent behaviors or aggressive behaviors or impulsive behaviors. But I don't think you can directly correlate that to video games create murders.
Okay, so pretty much what you said was you were saying that you don't agree with video games turning children into murderers. You think more so that on the psychology of the child and how that they are more susceptible to having a violent nature.
That they can't have violent video games can have an impact.
They can have an impact, but you don't think it necessarily turns them into murderers. Okay. Nathan, same question.
Okay. I would definitely say no. I do think that it can have an impact, but I think for me, I've seen most people use it more as an escape. So the violence almost is a way to transfer their violent tendencies into the game and release that tension, maybe. Now, for some people, it gives people the idea, but most people, it's just a virtual reality. It's not anything that they want to turn into tangible, ideas.
Yeah. So pretty much what you said was you definitely don't agree with the video games turning children into murderers because you think that it's almost as it can be treated as an escape for children.
But I should clarify that I don't think they should start at a young age. I think because at a young age, the violent tendencies don't usually develop as much. So I do think that it should be a certain age. But once you get to a certain age, that kids actually start playing with violent games, then
Right.
it can't be an escape.
So you think that it not necessarily is the video game's fault, it is more so, you'd say that it's more so the opposite of being turning them into murderers. You'd say it's the opposite of that. You say that it takes out that factor and it turns it into something more positive for some children. Okay. And we'll do one more just to get our time's worth in. It's supposed to be, it said 15 to 20 minutes max, but I don't know.
I don't know if I can talk about this stuff. I mean, I probably could if I had like a plan.
No, that's fine. Just whatever, just on the spot stuff. So, we'll do. Do you agree with the war on drugs in the United States?
I agree with parts of it. I definitely think there should be a right and a wrong as far as, you have to set, I believe you have to set limits on things. I think there's some drugs that are extremely dangerous, the higher level, cocaine, heroin, those types of things. I think that we've lost focus of the end result and focus more sometimes on the smaller criminal, I guess, small time offenders. So the war on drugs, I think, sort of loses its focus, and we're not, instead of the people that are hurting from it or need treatment, that sort of thing, focusing on arresting those people instead of working towards making an impact in reducing illegal sales, the manufacturing, that sort of thing.
So, pretty much what you're saying is that you think that we are focusing on the wrong idea. That we're focusing more so on that drugs are bad and that that people that do drugs need to go to jail. And so you don't agree with that necessarily because you do believe that drugs are bad, but you don't think that we should be focusing more on the criminal on the criminal part. We should be more focusing on the rehabilitation part.
Yeah,
And is that a good summary?
that's a good something.
All right, Nathan, your turn.
Oh man, where do I start? I would say that it is a good intent to have a war on drugs, but I also believe that it's nearly impossible to eliminate all drugs from the country. I think Mom's right. There are some. The war on drugs does lose its focus quite a bit, like on marijuana and stuff like that. And I think, like, less dangerous drugs. I do think narcotics and stuff like that. There should be a war on that stuff, because I think it's unhealthy for people. And I mean, so I don't know if it's possible to eliminate all drugs from the country, but I do think it's good to inform people, young students, about the dangers of it and staying away from it. So, and I do think we should do our best, at least, to get most of that stuff out of the country.
So, pretty much what you're saying is you think we should focus on the education part of the war on drugs rather than the criminal and the criminal activity part of it. You think that you also believe that the higher up drugs, there should be a war on that, but you also at the same time do not believe there's going to be an end to it all. And there's not going to be an end result. You believe that there's always going to be drugs out there. It's just more so focusing on not on like marijuana and the lower stuff, but on the high, more dangerous drugs.
Yep.
So
That's pretty
cool. That's a wrap.
Thank you.
I hope you did good.
I hope it recorded.